Hi, Shot Squad. Coach Insiya here. I was on the thruway, and all of a sudden I heard this loud pop, and I looked back and I was like, "Oh, that was weird." It felt like something happened with this car, but uh, I don't see anything. It didn't seem like something significant enough. The car was still moving, and it must have just been my imagination. So I kept driving, and all of a sudden I got an alert on my car that notified me that lower tire pressure. That pop was my tire popping on the thruway. I am completely panicked about what to do. I had never actually been in a situation where a tire popped on the thruway. I haven't had to do something like that, so I didn't really know what to do. I really feel like I took away so much from this experience, and I wanted to share why that matters on your GLP-1 journey and why that's so relatable. I noticed something was wrong. I should pay attention to because I was driving and there was a pop. I should have been more mindful of what happened and pulled over to the right-hand side of the thruway. There I am still driving in the middle of the thruway, like, whatever, I'll figure it out. If I don't see it, it must not be me. Like, that is what I'm telling myself. And that's not true. We could say the same thing when it comes to our GLP-1 journey, right? There are little warning signs that happen before we hit our stalls, especially if you've been on this journey long enough. Like, if you've been on the journey for over a year, like I have, it's not stalls you're concerned about. You start getting concerned about weight gains. There are indicators of stress, of lack of sleep, of all these other factors that have a direct impact on our weight loss. And we just ignore. And it's not that we mean to, just life is busy and we're dealing with priorities, especially as high achieving women. We have so much on our plate already that sacrificing sleep just feels minor until you see what has happened as a consequence on the scale. So I felt like that just been me in my life in general, right? Maybe you can relate. If it's not an emergency, I may not have the capacity to deal with it. So I had to pull over to the side of the road and I was terrified, dramatically so. I called my husband because it'd be too complicated to explain all this to ChatGPT, but that would be my backup plan. And I'm like, "I think I popped a tire. I can't see anymore because when you call somebody, it covers the tire gate." I'm like, "Something's wrong. Can I just keep driving?" I literally asked them, "Can I keep going on this road? Maybe I can make it to the exit." He's like, "No, you should probably pull over and see if it really was a pop tire." I'm gonna just pull over and I'm panicking because I don't know what to do. I don't understand what happened. All I know is here I am with the car making a bunch of flashing lights at me. Okay. So I pull over and end the call with my husband because that was the only way I was gonna know what the tire gauge meter said. And there it said 0. It was a full pop. It wasn't like a slow leak or something that maybe I could have pushed through. Does this sound relatable to you? It was for me on GLP-1. I had shared my video of the first time I had the weight gain. It was my first weight gain, and it was like around 6-month mark. So it does happen, by the way. You don't have to wait till after a year, especially when you live life in a complete stress ball all the time. It can happen anytime. I remember just feeling so out of control and not knowing what to do. From that day, I started making notes to myself about all the different things I can do in order to keep an eye on what was going to happen. All right, I'm going to have to continue this in a little bit. Okay, we're back in my kitchen. I'm meal prepping and we'll continue the conversation. So essentially, I'm pretty sure you understood the fact that I just did not know what was happening. So what I ended up doing was we had AAA. My husband had to get there. It was a whole thing. I know I can tend to be a little dramatic in some situations that are out of my control, especially if I don't know what to expect, which is what happened here. I was just sitting in the car thinking, why did I let this happen? Why didn't I just pull over sooner, make safer choices? The other thing is when you're really stressed out, you can't act fast. The part of your brain that is able to think logically, which can get tough. That explains my life in general. Anytime something stressful happens, because I've just always been very, like, easily stressable. I'm always doing just too much that, like, one little extra thing would end up wrong. I don't have room for that. That's been something that makes it a person likelier to burn out. That's a lot of the work I've been doing for myself inside the GLP-1 journey and within my community, like how to build the ability to take on things that happen in life. So I really want to dive into this because it gets deep into that to me. I'm sorry if you don't like these types of metaphors and talks about one thing, but then it means something else. But hang out with me because this is going to be good. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced this where things are going on in life and something's about to happen. It just can't continue on anymore the way it is. I'm really crying now. And I'm not crying about the tires, though maybe I should have a good cry about that because it felt like an emotional day. It's the onions, though, this time. And you're stranded on the side of the road thinking about the meaning of life and wondering, how did I end up here? How did this happen? And for me, the answer is simple. It's always the same. Sure, there was a fair amount of random chance that had to have happened for some of this to play out. But the thing that really mattered to me is that I keep living life in a way that's like, my plate is full. And the way to live life is that you aren't just planning for the one disaster that might happen that you have your eyes on, but it's to be able to like just live life and kind of go with the flow as things pop up because things are going to happen in life no matter what. Now I'm going to bring this back into our GLP journey. I was doing everything, right? Like I've always been doing everything, but being on this GLP-1 journey just takes it to the next level because now I have to give a crap about what I'm eating. And I can't just eat anything. Like, you live your whole life like stressed out and you just decide, oh, I'm just going to do takeout. I'm just going to skip moving, take these shortcuts. But then you realize that if you're really doing this GLP-1 journey for life, you can't take those same shortcuts. So here I am literally chopping up veggies so that I have for myself. When I do meal prep, I prep more than just a little bit. If I'm putting in the work, I'm going to put it in for more than one meal. These are lessons in life that I've learned because of the way I live my life, the chaos I put myself in. So I've been working really hard to be much more mindful of that. If this happened last year, I wouldn't be filming this video. My whole face would be in tears and I would think it's the end of the world. This is a sign that I'm doing all the wrong things and I wasn't meant to be there. Like I would make it a bigger thing. Every little disaster felt like the end of the world. When I was rewatching my YouTube video that I mentioned earlier, for the first time I had a weight gain, I remember how I felt and how it felt like this came out of nowhere. I cannot believe this happened. I don't know how to move forward. Like I was in this place of fear and constant concern about when the scale is going to move again. I'm paying out of pocket. Oh my gosh, I'm wasting all this money. I'd start calculating all the money I was wasting by not being able to lose the weight. How did this happen? Where did this come from? I just felt out of control and blindsided. I had started making a list of all the things I need to watch for in the event that I get stuck again on the scale. Because of course, where am I coming from? I'm coming from this data-minded, control freak, trying to know the future when you can't always know the future. But I do better when I have knowledge. I started collecting all this information. I had a Word document that I would go through for my clients, not just for myself. That's why I became such an expert at stalls, because I did not want to keep stalling. And here's the thing. I absolutely am obsessed with the stall strategy. The stall strategy is the answer key. Everything I understood about the science, about GLP-1, what helps us lose more weight, what keeps us from losing weight. Like I literally brain dumped into this Word file originally. And then I had like 6 to 7 months of organizing it. And I originally planned to keep it inside my course, which goes through all the other work that's needed. And all that other stuff I learned after I started compiling this. This part was the beginning of my taking ownership and gaining my expertise in GLP-1 this document because it just has so much information for the right person. Having a systematic breakdown, a checklist that you can literally just go, okay, it's not this, it's this. To be able to do that made those moments of panic on the side of the road feel like I had a safety net, somewhere to turn to when my brain was being illogical. Because trying to figure this out when you're actively in a stall is, especially if you don't already have a foundation of the science. My bachelor's degree is in biology and psychology. Like, I have that foundation, but most people don't. So I share this information. I've created a community. I have such an amazing group of people. Like, even you watching this right now, if you got this far, oh my goodness, like, you're the best. Let me know if you got this far. I'm so sorry. Thanks for listening to my whole car story. I swear it matters. We are so used to focusing on the tasks that we can see. And so when something comes out of nowhere, a project we didn't know about, kids' event for school that was unexpected, a family request, something that you have to do because your family, they have a crisis. And now it's a crisis for you because, your life is just so full. I was in the middle of a stall. That matters because if you got anything out of my car side of the road thinking I'm going to die, it's that feeling of not knowing what to do and feeling helpless. I could feel the other cars going by me, and it would create that force, the wind that has me physically jolted in my own vehicle. When you see my content and feel the emotions in there, it's because I know these emotions. I felt so attached to the result and said to myself, it was about the data. I have what is now the stall strategy that anyone can purchase. I'll include the link. That is amazing. It's such an incredible tool that gives me that sense of peace.